Good to see you guys, see everyone here tonight. Sorry to keep you waiting for a few extra minutes. Just so you know, the board meetings are always packed like this, so if you need to get a seat, get here early. Now, we appreciate you being here. Let's all stand. We're going to start by having Erica here in the front row, and now all you kids join in with the Pledge of Allegiance tonight.
Who leads us, Erica? We got to face the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, good job here. Thank you. I almost feel like we're still celebrating the Chiefs like we should do like Andy. How about those? All right, wow, that's a good job. Good job, everybody. Thank you. What do you want to do? Well, we'll wait till the choir gets up and then we'll do the chop. All right. We have a couple of board members that were absent that just had pre-planned schedules out of town. We have one board member, Terry Landers, who is joining us via telephone tonight. So I just want to let you guys know that. I'll entertain a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
Mr. President, I move that the board approve the February 10th, 2020 agenda.
Second. Second.
All right. All right, board members. Board member have anything they would like to share?
Well, go ahead.
I was able to go to the Raytown High, Raytown South game on Saturday. That was Saturday, and that was a great game with a packed crowd, and it was a lot of fun to be there with you guys, so appreciate that. And then we received some of the, we received thank you notes and stuff from the kids from the Board of Education, and so there was one in particular from Northfleet that I wanted to read. It says, "Dear Board of Education, thank you for on our school board. I like Raytown School because I like going to watch my cousin's basketball game. I am in 2nd grade and I am learning math. Do you like learning too, Kaysen?" And I just wanted to say, Kaysen, I do. I went back to school this past fall, so I am right there with you guys. And I have to admit, I came home today and said, I don't want to do homework. So, but keep on keeping on. I'll keep on with you. So, and then we also had one that was excited about the Chiefs, and it said, "We won, let's party." So I hope you guys all got to party last Wednesday.
I don't have any to read, but I did want to say thanks to all of the students and the staff that appreciates the board. We appreciate you all, and we are delighted to serve you all. So thank you.
I had the pleasure today of going to Jeff City for the legislative forum, and got a lot of good information concerning teacher recruitment and retention. Most of the discussion was based on just compensation for teachers, and got a really good some information. Met a lot of board members in other districts, and had some fun letting some of the state senators have it about promoting charter schools. So that was really fun. Got back here just in time.
All right, good. All right, thank you. Yeah, there are lots of different things going on. I do enjoy World Appreciation Month, and we do get a lot of nice cards and these banners and presents and stuff, but getting the letters from the kids is my favorite thing, and I always like to get those, and hopefully we'll still even get some more. But I'll read one also. It says, "Thank you for serving on our school board. I like Raytown Schools because I learn new things. I'm 8 years old. I love to learn new things. And I know 100 times 100. It's 10,000. So she was, and that was from Keon, letting me know that. So appreciate those cards and letters. Is Keon here by chance? Okay. So, all right. Superintendent highlights.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Moore. First of all, kids, I am the one that canceled school last Wednesday for the parade. So I think that, thank you.
We're recording that, by the way.
Little cheap applause for me, but thank you so much. I appreciate that.
In consultation with.
Yes. And I can tell you, as soon as the Chiefs won the AFC Championship game, see, I have 3 sons, 2 go to Raytown High and 1's at Northleaf. And the 2 at Raytown High began the lobbying process. You know, if we win the Super Bowl and there's a parade, don't you think we've got to be out of school? So then their friends jump on. And I get so many Twitter followers this time of year. There's snow and geez, it's wonderful. So, highlight of my career. Several things. Just a reminder, we do have pre-K enrollment beginning on March the 2nd at 3 Trails. So we have expanded that program. If you know some parents out there that have some kids 3 and 4 years old, get them over to the enrollment process. Look on the website. We want those kids in there. We're also, the 5th graders have been visiting the middle schools here lately, which is a good thing. Look, signing up for band. Any of you that are 5th grade parents are somewhat worried about that middle school experience in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, we encourage you to get out there and meet those principals and teachers when you can. It is kind of, at times can be a little bit scary moving to we call it the big house. From the elementary school over to the middle school. So make sure you get out there. And also there's some other items that are going on in the district. Did you know that Raytown is again, has been recognized as one of the healthiest employers in Kansas City again? And that's a testament to our staff and our school wellness center, et cetera. Also, if any of you know Dr. Calcara over at Raytown South Middle School, he was selected as a Fulbright leader for the Global Schools program, so he's going to be able to exactly where he's going to go off to Finland, and let's see, he will travel abroad to Finland and Singapore to learn about programs and best educational practices. So that's a great honor for him. And also, the Raytown Educational Foundation was recognized as the let me give you the exact, it received a Nonprofit of the Year award, which honors nonprofits for their impact in the Raytown community. And also, we have a rising star in the school district, and she's back there saying, thank you, God, I wish she hadn't said that. Miss Danielle Nixon in the back received the Rising Star Award from the Raytown Chamber. And my last highlight, last week, both of my older sons play basketball at Raytown High School, and I attended 7 basketball games last week. It was a marathon. But I can tell you, it was exciting because there were several Raytown High versus South High. You know, when I go to these games, I have a Blue Jay on one shoulder and a Cardinal on the other. It's like when I'm visiting schools on the south side of 350, I wear red, and when I'm visiting on the north side, I wear blue. I actually carry those shirts around in my car when I'm going back and forth, and they'll tell you, yes, that's true. But that game Saturday, watching those boys play their hearts out, and it's a shame that somebody has to lose, but as a district we won. We did, because those gentlemen gave everything they had. They put on a great show for everybody that was there, and they really showed how Raytown can shine, and that really makes me happy in seeing our young men and all of our fans and kids that are there that are participating. That's something they'll remember for the rest of their lives, good or bad. So that's it, Mr. President. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
We normally try not to applaud the superintendent more than once a meeting. I'm sure he
You're
appreciates
embarrassing
that. Presentations and recognitions. Ms. Nixon.
All right, I have a lot of great people here with me this evening, so we'll go through Did You Know kind of quickly. We have 2 high school theater productions, both at Raytown High and Raytown South High coming up. Raytown High will be presenting Our Town, and that is February 20th through the 22nd at 7 p.m. in the Raytown High Auditorium. And Raytown South High will be doing a musical called the 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. And that will be February 21st through the 22nd at 7 p.m. in the gymnasium. I have members of the PTA Council with me here today to tell you a little bit about STEM in the Gym, which is coming up next month.
right, so this year is our 7th annual STEM in the Gym that is put on by the Raytown PTA Council. We're very excited to host all elementary school kids at STEM in the Gym on March 10th at Raytown High School. So typically we see a few hundred kids and families come to this event where kids get to do hands-on activities to learn about the STEM field. And the thing that we're most excited about this year is that Raytown is, I think, extremely blessed to have an amazing VOTEC area. And so the Herndon Center is going to be hosting a lot of different tables to show how students don't have to go to college. They can learn at these VOTEC educational places. Excuse me, a little nervous. But what's going to happen is students are going to come show the different programs at the Herndon Center. So you'll get to learn different ways to go to college and get STEM education that way, as well as what you can learn in the district. So that is something we're very proud of this year. As well, we're giving away lots of free stuff, so all those families in the room, we would love to see you and have you there.
All right, good, thank you. Any questions? That was Kristen Haynes, your president of the PTA Council, right?
Vice President.
Vice President.
I also have
Got
Mr.
some
Haynes
other-
at home, who's not here.
Any questions?
We would love to see you all there. It's a really amazing event. We've gone as a family the last 4 years, and my kids love it.
Do they send flyers home?
They do send flyers
Okay.
home, and you should learn about it at each of your parent-teacher conferences.
Oh, okay.
And we'll also be putting signs at the front, and as always, the school district does a really great job on Facebook promoting those events. So.
Thank you.
Kristen. Also on Did You Know, we have Academic Evening. Can we believe that we're talking about Academic Evening already? Coming up on March 5th for our high school juniors and seniors with a 3.5 and higher. Our guest speaker will be Dr. Evelyn Hill. She's an educator, entrepreneur, volunteer, and she is the Director of Community Engagement at Avenue of Life. And then it is School Board Recognition Month, and this week specifically is School Board Recognition Week. And we have Mayor McDonough here to do a special proclamation.
Good evening, Board. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mayor Mike McDonough. I'm your mayor of the city of Raytown. I'm a product of the Raytown school system, graduated in Raytown South High School in class of 1973. My son Ian graduated in 2008, is that correct? Okay, it's been a while. Before that, I was a police officer for almost 40 years, worked a lot in the school system with a lot of these folks on a lot of different things. And I can honestly say you live in one of the greatest towns, as far as I'm concerned, that you could be, in one of the greatest school districts that I can think of, and I've been around the country a lot. I know a lot of other places get a lot of accolades and all that, but I've never seen so many kids come through this school system, start off over here, and you wonder what's going to happen to them as a police officer, and you see them come out the other side with all kinds of scholarships, getting great jobs, raising families, on and on and on. I belong to the program they had where we read to the kids in classes, Youth Friends class, and I read in a second grade class for 7+ years. I had a lady come up to me the other day at a function at Raytown South High School. She was 22, getting ready to become a teacher, and she was talking about when I read to them in second grade. So it really meant something to me. And the reason I say that is now I understand why my daughter and my sisters and all you guys teach. It was just fascinating that she remembered that the reading that I taught them and all the things that we did every single week and how important it was to read. So anyway, I'll move on to the proclamation, but I just want to let you all know, if you ever had any doubts about your school system, in my opinion, it's the greatest school system and the greatest city that ever existed. So here we go. Whereas an excellent public education system is integral to the quality of life of the citizens in the Raytown community, and whereas school board members offer outstanding leadership and tireless, committed service to the patrons and children of the Raytown School District, and whereas our school board members provide a solid foundation for our school system, which is the structure through which our community's future leaders are produced. And whereas school board members are strong advocates for public education, do their work to understand the needs of our schools, and they dutifully lead the way toward ensuring that those needs are met. Now therefore, I, Michael McDonough, Mayor of the City of Raytown, do hereby proclaim the week of February 9th through the 15th, 2020, as School Board Recognition Week, and I call upon all residents to join this worthy observation in recognition of our Board of Educators' essential role in ensuring the well-being and betterment of our community, signed this 10th day of February in the year 2020, Mayor Michael McDonough. And I must say, being an elected official like they are, it's not an easy job, folks, so they really work hard for you all, as do all of our other elected officials. And I want to tell you all thank you, because you all are an integral part of what makes our city so great, and I want to thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, appreciate that. And I just like to echo that, you know, the mayor's one of our biggest cheerleaders, and we don't pay him to say any of that stuff. So I think that's one of the reasons for our success of the city and the school district work so closely together, and we have cheerleaders like the mayor there on our side. So appreciate that, appreciate the proclamation. Thank you.
And we also have a proclamation from Missouri Governor Mike Parsons, thanking you guys for your quality leadership as well. With us here this evening is the District Elementary Choir, made up of students from all 10 elementary schools, and they rehearse weekly at Northfleet on Mondays, so they just came from rehearsal. The choir is under the direction of Amanda Brown, Northfleet Elementary music teacher, and Jake Adamson, Eastwood Hills Elementary music teacher. And this is the second year for the choir, so they're going to perform a few songs for you.
Let's give them a hand as they come.
Oh, that was great. Is there another one?
Just one.
Just one?
Just the one.
Well, guys, we're gonna do that one song, right? At the beginning, we were thinking about the other one we were gonna do.
I wish we did the other one.
Well, which one is that?
2 Canadian,
Folk songs.
Canadian songs.
Can you guys know it? Can you do it real quick?
Sure.
Yeah, because I've never seen so many phones out at a board meeting before.
Thanks for
Thank you for adding that. I mean, if you make the server come out, might as well hear 2 songs. Or maybe one more song, let's do the other one. Thank you guys, and thank you parents, because that's a lot of effort, you know, to get the kids to those rehearsals and all that extra stuff. So stick with it, and especially when you get to middle school and high school, stay in choir too. It's a great activity. So thank you guys for coming. Appreciate that. And feel free to stay. Some exciting announcements from Dr. Markley coming up.
They were here to see us.
They were part of this. He got trapped over there. That'll be written in history. He'll be a part of the choir.
Dr. Markley. Dr. Markley.
Dr. Markley.
get invited back? Somebody's got to be president. Yeah, well.
You went to a meeting today, kind of the next.
Switch it over. Let me know if you're.
It is cold.
I turned the air conditioner for heat on.
All right, let's see. Danielle, you got some more stuff?
We were going to do recognition, but I don't think that they're here, so I think that was the end of my part.
Who was that?
Baptist Trinity Lutheran for the grant. Shirley said she
They didn't
was
get carried
not-
out with the crowd, did they?
She's looking right now, I think that.
If they come, we can do it. We'll
Okay.
come back to it.
Thank you.
All right. Board of Superintendents.
Okay, we already took care of 8.1. I've got some notes here on the legislative. You get those MSBA legislative updates, but Alonzo could probably fill you in just as much as I could today because he was there in the middle of it. But out of the Senate, just to tell you some things that have happened in the Senate. One, and Alonzo, I know I'm telling you something twice, but we had a champion in the Senate Education Committee, Senator Gary Romine, for years. He is term limited this year, and anytime one of these charter bills or voucher bills or things like that would come to the Senate, they would come to his committee and they would die. They would never be brought out. He's a big public education supporter. He understood what the drain of resources would be by adding additional charter schools or creating a voucher system to the public education system. Well, he has been, even though he would have one more session under his belt, being this year, he has been appointed to the State Tax Commission, so he is gone out of the Senate, and his spot has been filled from, I think her name is O'Loughlin, maybe, that's her, Senator O'Loughlin, and she is a big charter school proponent, and she is now the chair of the Senate Education Committee, and I think Mike Serpoy, who is over on the St. Louis, or on the Blue Spring side, state senator, is the vice chair, and he's a big proponent of charter school expansion and vouchers. Matter of fact, one of the bills, the voucher bills 581, is his, with voucher tax credit. Well, we got two charter school expansion bills, 603 and 649 in the Senate. 603 would be open enrollment for any student in the state to attend a charter school, no matter where it pops up. It could pop up in either in a first class county, which Jackson County is one, or in a city that has 30,000 residents or more. We would be one of those. Springfield would be another. Any school district in Jackson County could obviously have one. They have, within those bills, they've reduced their accountability to the MAP test only. They don't have to worry about attendance. They don't have to worry about college and career readiness. It would just be their MAP test, and MAP, science, and ELA. These things have made it into the hearings. They have been pushed out, and they are on the Senate calendar to be discussed on the floor of the Senate. And will likely could, unless we get a big filibuster going, make it out and over into the House. Now, at the same time, as Romine was being appointed, so was Senator Curls and Senator Holzman, both Democratic senators from this side of the states. And Kiki Curls is one of ours, and Senator Holzman was a senator over on the centers. You think about the center school district in north and south along Holmes Road up into Kansas City. Now, that's important that those three are gone, okay? Because once these make it to one only, that Romine is gone, so it's going to go through the committee a little bit easier. Plus, when it gets onto the floor for debate, Romine and two other senators that would stand up and filibuster are gone as well. So anything that comes through, we're going to have to probably beat on the House side this year, because it's going to make it through the Senate a lot easier than it has been. The other items out there are the tax credit items. Let me back up. Serpoy has a tuition tax credit bill, Senate Bill 581. It's got a $50 million cap on it. In 10 years, it could cost the state $350 million. So you can apply for a tax credit and get it up to that point. Any student that wanted to use a voucher to attend Pembroke Hill for $22,000 or whatever the tuition is, they could get it and go to Pembroke Hill on state tax dollars. Again, where's the accountability on the private schools? They don't have to take it. They have to offer a nationally normed test, but that's it. Just offer it. They could call the ACT, could be their testing platform. There's no accountability there, just as there are really with charter schools. So those are the bills coming out of the Senate. There's over 100 bills that have been filed on the education side, but again, not very many of them will make it through to the finish line. One that could make it to the finish line is on the House side, House Bill 1710, and that's one that I went down a few weeks ago and testified against, and that was putting a cap on the property assessments. Rather than put the cap on it, we've asked the legislature to give the assessors in the state the proper amount of money where they can go out and physically inspect properties to make sure they're being assessed the way they should be. I see Ryan Myers out there, this is what he does for a living, and I see him shaking his head yes, that our assessors do not have the financial means to get this job done. And the whole debacle we've had here in Jackson County was kind of a buildup of years and years and years of reassessment. I'm not telling this board anything they don't know, because we fought this thing at the Associate Circuit Court level with the Board of Equalization, but we know properties have been undervalued, particularly commercial properties, for years. So those bills will be moving through. It'll get out, it's been voted out of committee and waiting to be put on the House calendar for debate. Same way with the House Joint Resolution 77. Now, if I am a school district, particularly one that's growing, and you put a cap on the assessed valuation growth, I think of Grain Valley, for example, that is mainly rooftop. They're a rooftop community. They're growing 150, 200 kids a year, and they've got to build schools. But if you cap their assessed valuation where they can only bond 15% of whatever that cap is over an amount of time, I see Joe Kinder sitting out there that does this for a living as well. They can't go out and bond and build enough schools. They're going to start leasing trailers and sticking them in the parking lots. So it's a problem all the way around. Again, properly fund the assessors so they can do the job. And with that being said, that's all I was chastised a little bit for speaking earlier too much. I'll stop on that. Moving on down, I think Travis wanted to report, and again, if there's any questions on any of these, I don't speak to them, feel free to ask. But Travis is going to report on 8.8 facility numbers for the Wellness Center.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
And Rob's here for that.
There he is, right over there, Rob. You wouldn't mind speaking to that a little bit?
Yeah. I gave for you a breakdown of the facility numbers since we opened up to the community back in 2016. And it kind of gives you a comparative of what we've done for new units each year. And then Michael Dean, Assistant Director, was able to reach out to one of his old bosses at the Y to kind of get a rough estimate of numbers of what the YMCA had while they were open. See, YMCA averaged roughly about 1,800 active units during the tenure, which 400 of those were about silver sneakers. But towards the end of their closing, they were down to 1,000 units. But you see where we're really doing successful is in our insurance paid programs, which is your silver sneakers. Silver and Fit, which has only been around for 7 years, wasn't around with the Y, and then Renew Active is a brand new one. They're actually taking over for silver sneakers in the state of Missouri. United Healthways cut ties with that in 2017, and AARP just did the same thing, changed their programs all over to Renew Active. So you'll start seeing Renew Active kind of be the new silver sneakers in the state of Missouri.
So how do we define a unit? What makes up a unit? An individual membership?
A contract, basically, or an agreement, a user agreement.
So like if there's 3 people from the same household, is that 3 units or 1 unit?
That is still considered 1 unit.
Okay. So we probably have...
We're close to about 4,700 active or people working on.
So, and paying agreements, we have 885 paid agreements. Is that separate from the insurance?
Correct.
Payments? So then we have about 1,900 units that we're getting paid on.
Yes. I wanted to break down kind of where some of that was coming from.
That's pretty good. Anybody else have any other questions? Thank you. All right, thank you.
Rob?
I also have the change orders listed on the report. If there's any questions on any of those, be happy to answer those at this time. And that's it, Mr. President, if there's any questions.
We're having a meeting on
February 24th, correct, South High auditorium issues. Do we have anything you want to talk about?
Other than the fact, we're just gonna take a look at that, see what our options are. We're still waiting, I think, on some insurance information. Along with that meeting, we'll be discussing some financing options for moving forward.
Anybody have any questions for Dr. Markley on anything? Alonzo? Board committee reports, curriculum, instruction and development. Who is giving that report?
That's mine, and in just a second to get it over here. So there are two reports there. One is the minutes from our last meeting, and the action are the minutes from our previous meeting. Those minutes were approved at our last meeting, so I'll open those up. That's the first item there from our September 9th meeting. And there we're breaking these meetings up to talk about a different set of items related to curriculum instruction in each meeting. Now, the first meeting we talked about just the curriculum instruction goals, the writing process, and we also talked about modifying some of our offerings and some discipline recommendations from the Citizens Advisory Committee. So those are the minutes that were presented from the September 9th meeting.
Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
Mr. President, I move to accept the meeting minutes from the September 9th, 2019 meeting of the Curriculum Instruction and Professional Development Board of Education meeting.
A second.
Second.
Any other questions or comments?
The next agenda item there is from the January 13th meeting. And if you look at the bottom of that agenda, you can see what our upcoming schedule is going to be. For our 3 meetings of the year, we'll focus on social emotional learning at the May meeting, summer work overview and C&I goals the September meeting, and assessment data summary and strategies at our January meeting, which is what we talked about at this January meeting. Looking at our item analysis reports, MAP and EOC practice tests, and then an overview of our pre-K2 reading strategies and teacher training in those areas.
Okay, any questions around that one? Okay. Raytown Educational Foundation, I'll go ahead and just go briefly through this committee report, and Martha's here so you can chime in or correct me if I need to say something differently. Share the Love Breakfast was last week. Several of us attended that, so that was a great, do a good job on getting a good turnout for that. Very impressive. Good job, Martha. So appreciate everyone that comes to that and contributes to that. Pillar Awards that were announced at the breakfast. Pillar of Giving was Our Best Bank, and Pillar of Service was retiree Kim Snyder. So congratulations to them on those. Ref received a $5,000 grant from Our Best Foundation to serve the Raku Pottery Grant at Raytown High and the Kyle Dillingham and Horseshoe Road Grant. In addition, the Our Best Foundation grant will provide 2 $1,000 Raytown Community Prize Scholarships to seniors from class of 2020, of which I have one. So, fundraising, the foundation has had a busy winter with various fundraising activities, major saver discount cards. Is that still going on?
That's over now.
It's over now? Okay. Raytown Night of the Mavericks is coming up this Friday on February 14th. So what a great date for your Valentine's to see some good fights going on. Anything else you want to say about that one?
Pucker up? I don't think you know. I'll read the next email.
Okay, that's a preview of the next Chuck a Putt contest.
Right.
Ref receives all the proceeds from that this Friday night. So, all right, good. Thank you, REF. Any comments, questions from Mark, or anything on that? All right, let's go to consent agenda.
Mr. President, I move that the board approve the February 10th, 2020 consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Okay. I was gonna try to read the donations, we'll vote on that, and then we're trying to do something a little different to show the donations up on the screen. Let's see. So we like to point out the donations and give them good recognition to hopefully spur further donations. Quite a few this month. It's not coming up, I'll just read them. We have a $100 donation to South High from High B for the choir concert. A donation to Spring Valley from GOAD Company, $250 worth of books for the bookmobile. Donation to Spring Valley from Judith Campbell, $50 worth of markers, coats, erasers for holiday gift. Donation to Spring Valley from Spire, $500 worth of coats. Donation to Spring Valley from the Hines family, $38 worth of dollhouse and frozen sleigh. Not sure what that is, but Spring Valley from Veronica Bell, $50 worth of clothing. From Susan Payne, $80 worth of hygiene products. Donation to Spring Valley from Janet Neulinger, $300 worth of hat scarves and ear warmers. Donation from Jenny Logman for clothing and shoes. Donation to Spring Valley from Erica Vanderveer for clothing and shoes. Donation to Spring Valley from Melissa Niemeyer, worth $100 worth of various items, sweater, shirt, and pants. Donation to Spring Valley from Katie Conbeam, $40 worth of looks like Legos, cars, and batteries and toys. Donation to Spring Valley from Michelle Williams, $40 worth of toys. Shirts and candy. Donation to Spring Valley from Kathy True, $40 worth of sweatshirts and dolls. Another one, Spring Valley from Wendy Rowe, $50 worth of clothing and toys. A donation to Spring Valley from Candace Lindley, $60 worth of frozen, not sure what that is, pajamas, jeans, sweaters, and tea set. Donation to Spring Valley from Michelle McCosker. Sketch pads, markers, and colored pencils. From Michelle Jordan, $100 worth of toys. From Lisa Kirk, $80 worth of shoes, clothes, toys. From Candace and Rebecca Lindy, $60 worth of clothes. Spring Valley was really busy collecting the donations last month, so good job from them. A donation to New Trails from Hope Network, $500 worth of socks for all students. Donation to New Trails from Cerner Firsthand Foundation, $7,000 worth for 140 backpacks filled with gifts for families for the holidays. So excellent job. Thank you very much for all those donations, and quite sizable ones too.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
I believe most of those Spring Valley, were staff members, so we're especially thankful for our staff for really providing for our kids. That's awesome.
Thank you for pointing that out. Were they having a special employee drive or something in Spring Valley? Do we know what was?
I don't know that there's anything special. I just know that several, and it makes me think that maybe, I think we have other staff that do it too. I know Spring Valley is really good about submitting all of that, but we'll make sure. But I know that they did a drive for the holidays.
Yeah, that's probably a good point. I'm sure if the principal said, give me a list of everything you donated, there's probably quite a few, so,
So we'll bring it up at our next principals meeting just to make sure people get recognized.
Good job. Thank you very much. Thanks for pointing that out. Any other comments on any of those items? All right. Further on that item. Unfinished business.
Mr. President, I move that the board approve the revised 2019-2020 academic calendar.
It's just acknowledging these names.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
So this is just to absorb the snow days.
Yeah. Winter's not over, we still have 2 days we can absorb.
My seniors also praying for that too.
Yes. As all the seniors will be.
He was hoping that we'd have an actual snow day on Wednesday and the parade would have gotten moved to Thursday.
He was alone.
I said, no, we're not gonna have 2 of those.
I think they all talk to each other.
He doesn't say anything, I'm just sitting there waiting to hear.
All right, Raytown High School renovation bond issue. Bond item, is there a motion to approve?
Mr. President, I move that the Board of Education approved Larison Construction to complete the Raytown High upgrades at a cost of $3,801,551, plus a 10% contingency of $380,155 for a total potential cost of $4,181,706.
Second.
I don't know why I choose the big number ones.
Because you're learning.
I'm not in math classes right now. Next semester.
All right, there's a motion and a second. Who wants to talk about this?
It's our last item that come before you for the summer projects that are coming up. So this is Larison, who does a lot of work for us. They're currently working on Chitwood, and this one bids did come in under budget. So if you have any questions, we have to answer them.
So we could potentially save more than this. This is if we spent all the contingency. We'd still be under budget by this amount.
Exactly.
Were there any alternates that we didn't go for?
Yes, a couple of minor ones. I mean, we took most of them. Anything come off? I don't have the alternate list in front of me. Sandy, does anything come up?
Yeah, there were some audiovisual and technology alternates that we didn't accept. Tried to accept a few that would bring in some parity if we decide to move forward with the South Auditorium. So a lot of the alternates that were not accepted were stemming around the auditorium renovation portion of the project.
Were they too high? They were over budget?
They were high.
So we're thinking if we do the new South, that we'll get them together and have a better price on them?
Well, the items we did take, the alternates we did take, including the audio-visual package, those will give us parity for what we are planning at South High.
And we're also putting in some of the infrastructure. If you decide you want to purchase some of those upgrades later, the infrastructure will be there, the wiring, power, etc.
Like what's an example of one that we didn't take?
The upgraded projector system, I think it was around $50,000 to put in that projector. Is not something we necessarily need right now to.
It'd be good if you decide to do e-gaming, but
right.
We're not there yet. So.
But we're going to put the power in and the data if you decide you want to purchase that projector later.
All right. Any other questions on any of this list of items? All right. I've been waiting all night long to say defeasance. I've never said that word before. Is there a motion to accept the defeasance resolution?
Not without a definition.
Well, let's have a motion, and then we'll have them tell us what it is.
Mr. President, oh, go ahead, Bob.
No, you go ahead. I'll let you have that big word.
This is more my area. Mr. President, I move to accept the defeasance resolution as presented.
Second.
All right. Joe, you gonna?
Defeasance is as we talked about last month, a made-up term. The technical meaning of it for Missouri in terms of your general obligation debt is that you have exhausted or taken care of every single principal and interest obligation you have related to a single piece of your debt, which we can do as small as in $5,000 increments. The 2011 that you're looking at doing a defeasance on is eligible as of March 1st. We have notified bondholders that on March 1st we will be prepaying that debt, and it is eligible to be prepaid without owing any interest on it. So it's the most efficient way we can do that. It not only will approximate that refunding that we talked about, we were saving about $60,000 on that refunding we talked about last month. It will actually save you about $73,000 in interest costs, so prepaying that will save you a little bit more than the refunding. The only drawback is that you will spend your reserves down a little bit this year, but you will immediately bounce back next year because part of what you're prepaying is a large payment next year. So by January, not even next year, within 9 months, you'll have your fund balances and reserves back up to where you would like them to be ideally.
So is this just a different term? Because we voted on, we've had these before, right? Or we never done one like this before?
You may be confusing this with refunding. Yeah,
Well, I've never heard this term before. Have we?
When we prepay a lease, we don't have to defease. What happens with general obligation debt is in order to legally make it go away, we have to do this kind of fictional declaration of a defeasance. So
right, and that's what I'm saying. We have done that before, though, right?
Yeah.
But we don't remember doing one of these motions before.
And we may have just talked about it in terms of a prepayment, and then deep inside the resolution, we would have declared a defeasance. I think recently Gilmore and Bell has kind of changed how they do that, and they're really focused on the term defeasance.
They just like to say it too.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay, so we'll basically be saving a little bit more money than we thought we were at last month's meeting. Okay, that's good. Any other questions or comments? Well, thanks for coming out and explaining that. We already vote. I don't remember.
We have not voted on that one yet. We're on the.
It's active then.
Huh?
It's active then.
Okay, give us just a second, it's running slow. Computers are doing their own defeasance tonight. I'm gonna start using that word the way Hank Strand uses the word matriculate. All right, there we go. Please go ahead and vote on that now. First read policy items. Got several first reads. Items for first read. We don't need a motion. Will the policy committee be meeting on these?
Yeah, we'll be meeting next, I believe, on the
24th.
prior to the...
Dr. Markey, we will be meeting prior to on the 24th, but these items were a change in state statute, so they bypassed the policy review committee meeting to go straight to the board for first reading. There's change in state statute or federal regulation that would require us to make a change.
So these items the policy committee won't be discussing.
That's correct.
But we still need to review them to see if we have any questions or concerns.
That's why we had the first reading.
But have you guys already reviewed them?
Yes.
And legal has reviewed them too?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. Anything else before we entertain a motion to adjourn? Anybody? All right. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I move that the board adjourn the regular Board of Education meeting at 7:34 p.m.
Second.
Second.
The motion passes. Thank you very much.
Good night, Mr. Landers.
Good night.